Will he is coming at you, Urban Monk 365. Alright, this one's going to be a little bit of a quick one. Just on mastering, or the word master, or whatever. I'm going to first reference, like, guitar, because one of the first things you learn for that is that you can't master it. There's always something new, there's always something to do, there's always some little thing that you've never seen. Someone figured out in their basement. Even the ones that are making millions of dollars, they'll tell you. They'll tell you straight up that, they watched this little kid do something that they've never done before. And that goes for everything. That goes for all of it. You can't, even this journey, spiritual awareness or mental health journey or whatever, like mastering yourself, technically never ends. It's technically you can't master it, because then, like, how do you grow after that? Like, isn't the last lesson death? Isn't the last lesson leaving this plane of existence? That was how it seems to me. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, and the thing too is, like, they then get caught in their own dogma, because they're like, oh, you have to do it my way, because like, I'm a master, so you have to be my student. And it's like, well, that's kind of not really the point of this journey if it's individual. And I'm pretty damn sure it's individual, because I can see the same thing and think differently of it than you. So that has to be individual. So then everything here in this reality is individual, including mastering yourself. So yeah, all those people, they can tell you certain little things. They can, like, teach you inner alchemy, or teach you where the chakras are, or show you a good yoga move, or things like that. But it's like, I learn from everything. Like, I try not to close my mind off to anything. Like, if the Quran had a lesson to learn, then the Quran had a lesson to learn. If the Bible has a lesson to learn, then the Bible has a lesson to learn. I mean, it's like, if you want to take the information, if you want to use the information and be a better you, then it doesn't really matter where it comes from, because you're being a better you. So mastering things is silly. Now it's like, can you get really good at being peaceful? Yeah. Can you feel like you've mastered yourself? Sure, I guess. But does that mean you actually did it? Probably not. Most likely, it just gives you the more empowering feeling, so that you can be the better you. I mean, that's how I see it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, there's not really much to say on that. So I could ramble on, name names and do all that crap, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about just using my example and getting my thoughts out cathartically. So here I am. Yeah, you can't really master yourself without dying, I think, or without leaving this plane of existence. Because it's like, you hear the stories of some of the Dalai Lamas. They didn't die. They kind of just left. So it's like, how do you take that, right? So, yeah. Did they master themselves and they just left? Kind of sounds like it. I mean, it kind of makes sense. But making sense in this reality is sometimes, difficult. So it's really hard to say. But yeah, that's it. Nice quick little video. I don't, it irks me when they say that, because then they're looking for a student. They're not looking for an equal. Period. They're looking for a student.
Will he is coming at you with the second part of this mastery. But another thing that kind of bugs me about this whole thing is, how do I put it? Sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking that things work out without us doing something about it. That's wrong. There are certain things that we need to come together, and we need to love each other, and we need to have a united front. Part of mastering yourself and knowing the journey is knowing when to do that. Is knowing when and where to unify, where and when to come together with like-minded people and do something, because sometimes change ain't gonna happen unless we change it. Change isn't going to occur until enough of us change it, until enough of us get together and change. I mean, it's that simple. And we are faced with, in these past couple of years, 2020, 2021, we are faced with something that we very much have to unite and love each other and stand against, because it's not going away unless we do. Now, I'm not talking about attacking people. I'm not talking about people. I'm not talking about, governments or blah 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 blah. No. That's not the way out of this. Because in certain ways we need those dignitaries. In certain ways those jobs, that the jobs that they do, not the not let me get it out. They pay the city workers. They sign the checks for these people. Those jobs are needed. Now, what they're doing is wrong. But we have to look at it from their point of view as well. They wanted to be civil servants, but when they got the job, people were hanging on their every word, waiting for the next thing, waiting for them to say what they were going to do. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, we're in this situation because people gave up their power to these entities, to these authorities. Now, part of mastering yourself is knowing when to say no, knowing when to do something about it. Now, you can say that there has to be balance in our duality. That is true. But are we living in a balance right now? I certainly don't think so. So, right now, our best bet is for all of us little people to come together with the loving frequency and master ourselves that way. Because we have to shape the future in our image, not theirs. Because they want to shape the future in their image. And trust me when I say it, any free, loving person, any person who loves their choices, aren't going to like what's coming down the turnpike. Now, I'm not saying you have to go protest. I'm not saying you have to do, but what I'm saying is we need a united front. We all need to say love is first and move on from there. Because love conquers all. Will He Is, Urban Monk, coming at you 365 with good vibes and all the love. Peace.